this is a real bonus for Nigel Mansell and the Newman-Haas team because, Paul, they made that last stop at lap 58. That meant there were 47 laps to go to the finish. Not enough fuel to do it. Now they'll get the complement of fuel. He won't have to go any further as we go to Jackaroo.
Well, Gary, they also completed a stop here with the Roberto Guerrero car who was running in second. Let's check in with the dragmaster himself who runs this team, Kenny Bernstein. Now, can you run full fuel till the end?
Yes, we can. We're in good shape. Can't say enough about the Budweiser team. What a great job they've done.
They're going to go full open from here on in. Paul?
In the meantime, on the track itself, it looked like Mario Andretti, as we've got an injured crew member there, we'll keep track of this, looked like Mario Andretti, the yellow flag flying on the whole course, past Nigel Mansell coming out of the pits. Look here. Here is Mansell coming out. But watch as he comes out for a second car, and that's Mario, and he passes him. So Mario Andretti comes around Mansell, and these stops were made under the yellow, but remember, that doesn't matter in the pits. So Mario Andretti is now lined up in front of Nigel Mansell. Scott Goodyear lines up in third. We'll be back. Back at the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, full course caution. One of the other great races during the weekend here at this entire festive event is the Toyota Pro Celebrity Race, which was run yesterday, and Sam Posey reports.
All right, see, what we're going to do is we got each other's back, right? We're going to be drafting back and forth, back and forth. I'm lap 9. I win.
Olympic star Mary Lou Retton led the pre-race calisthenics in her own special fashion. And then it was off to the races. 16 Toyota Celicas equally matched except for the drivers. Mary Lou showed both driving ability and guts as she outbraked Cuba Gooding Jr. to take the position. And then the wheel banging began. Crystal Bernard wished she could have sprouted wings to escape drag racer John Force as he pushed her forcibly aside. Then Mary Lou made ex-raider Bob Golick feel like a quarterback as she sacked him into the tires. Radio host Sean Parr and John Queen both wanted the same piece of track. Neither got it. When the checkered flag flew, was motorcycle great Eddie Lawson, who added another title to his collection. Inside Editions, Rick Kirkham won the celebrity division. Kirkham showed that he was a pro when it came to working the champagne bottle. In a wild podium celebration, the bubbly bubbled over.
I started out great. I started out wonderful. I passed two people. I passed Cuba and I passed Steins, Mark Steins, on my second and third time around, and then I just played demolition ping pong ball there after turn 2. I don't know what lap it was, but hit the wall, hit the other wall, and hit the wall again 3 times. But I kept going.
And one of the stars, the pros this year, is the star of the great hit show on ABC, Coach Craig T. Nelson. 1 week a pro, 1 week an amateur. What are you anyways in auto racing?
I don't know what I'm doing. I should go back to coaching, I think, the way I'm racing. I mean, it's terrible.
Now, we understand that there's some great new draft choices, people that you signed for coach in terms of athletes. Now, what's the story on Minnesota State for next year?
Well, we're not violating any NCAA regulations, but by God, we're going after the best there is in high school football. And I got a line on a couple guys. I think we're going to the Patriot Bowl next year. Olmeyer, Patriot Bowl. Going to be big.
Paul?
All right, Jack Craig T. Nelson. He's got a team of his own right now. So we are under a full course caution, and Paul Newman keeping track of both of his cars, Mario Andretti and Nigel Mansell. This is what caused this full course caution, as Robbie Gordon got to the outside and then got into the side of Eddie Cheever. Raul Boisel dodging a bullet there, and Fittipaldi and Pruitt and Ari Leyendijk all chalking up the brakes behind him. This is the look from Ari Leyendijk's car as he just slapped the brakes. Paul Tracy is the leader of this run now as we come back to green. He's led 203 of the 341 laps available this year. He continues his lead, but now tacked right on his back end is Mario Andretti and Nigel Mansell as they both maneuver for position. And Fittipaldi not a factor back there. He's several laps behind the lead.
And remember, the big change, Paul, was during the pits, of the people that didn't see it, as Mario beat out the guy right behind him, number 5, Mansell, out of the pit. Mansell had no idea that that was going to happen.
Mario, in a sense, ambushed him, I think, as he was leaving the pits. The only place he could overtake him. Now Nigel is going to have to do the overtaking under green out on the racetrack. You know, they're teammates, but they're very aggressive men with an awful lot of pride, and there's no team orders that such one driver or the other should win the race. They are racing for the victory individually.
So Fittipaldi in that 4 car is not a factor. He is running in 16th place, but the rest of these cars are all fighting at the front of the field. Tracy, followed by Andretti, followed by Mansell, by Bosell, by Roberto Guerrero.
And one Chevrolet leading it, 2 Fords following it. The same team right there. Mario Andretti, Mansell on your left. They're trying to outbreak him going in.
Mansell, who is incredible at running down on the inside of the racetrack, slapping those brakes, riding the brakes all the way to the corner. Scott Pruitt takes a stop-and-go penalty for speeding in the pits. Excuse me, they have changed that now. We had one of his crewmen that was injured in the pits, not yet identified to us. And this stop and go was a result of leaving the pits with hoses still connected. And we'll try to get an update on his crewman as well. Let you know what happened there.
That's a new team. Maybe the guys just aren't experienced enough together right now, because, of course, the driver always wants to leave in a hurry, and I think that's what happened, Paul.
Watching at the front, no change in the order, though Rahal is closing in on Roberto Guerrero.
This is a very fraught situation because Nigel Mansell's been a little bit faster than Mario throughout much of the day, but he now must get by Mario, and Mario is very aggressive at defending himself on a course like this.
I think we can easily assume that by now we're not too far from the end of the race, and Mansell is very tired and very sore from his injuries in Phoenix. And it kind of looks like he's not as aggressive as he normally is.
Battle for 5th place, the 40 car, Roberto Guerrero. Rahal right behind him. Goodyear just back from Rahal. 5th, 6th, and 7th. There's Bosell also in the fight as well, just ahead of Guerrero. Of these cars in contest with one another, just ahead of them, Nigel Mansell, Mario Andretti, and Paul Tracy. So at this point, now with 80 laps complete, 105 the scheduled distance, it still could go to anyone because the battle is all sitting on one straightaway all together. The leader, of course, is Paul Tracy as Teo Fabi comes in and out. This is a stop and go for a speed violation in the pits. He moves back into the fight. He's running 8th. So Paul Tracy has had some pretty good luck so far in the running and remains in the lead. But will Mario and Nigel catch? We'll be back after this message and a word from your ABC station. Overhead, the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle based in nearby Carson. Many thanks to our friends from Goodyear for providing some really great aerial shots that show you some good relationships in the cars on this course. As you look down now on the streets of Long Beach, that's the combination that leads to the hairpin. And there is the hairpin, and take a look at the gigantic crowd that is here. Every seat is filled. An event that enjoys tremendous success, and like we said, it's starting a very special electricity here.
Paul, the Ford people, a lot of competitors have said that car right there, the Chevrolet-powered cars have had problems getting off the corners. I listen to Paul Tracy as he comes off the hairpin. They've got the Chevrolets running. He buries the throttle about the middle of the turn, and it just jumps off.
Nigel Mansell taking a slow run down shoreline, and several cars, including Bosell and Rahal, get past him. Gary Gerald?
Nigel just was on the radio, we're told, saying it's rough as anything. We're assuming he's talking about the engine, the crew very concerned.
So Nigel Mansell, who was looking so strong, chasing Mario Andretti, now he is not.
Well, you know, Nigel Mansell, of course, has been compared with Michael Andretti this year, and Michael is having a lot of trouble in Formula One. You saw Carl Haas there, Mansell's car owner. But as Michael tries to deal with unfamiliar courses over there and is having trouble, remember that when Nigel dealt with an unfamiliar course here, i.e. Phoenix, he had a major crash. So what I think it proves is that both these series, both Formula One and IndyCar, are very, very tough for newcomers, no matter how good you are. And both these men are terrific.